Welcome friends to another video, and today I'm going to talk about the house of Burberry, and this is Mr. Burberry. This is a fragrance that was launched in 2016. This is a very interesting fragrance created by Francis Kurjan, and it's a very beautiful woody fragrance, especially for those of you who love woody notes, just like I do, because I'm a big fan of woody fragrances. And this is very interesting because you may be tempted in believing that this is a very powerful type of fragrance due to the composition, which has a lot of woody notes inside. But in reality, it's more of a fougere. It's a very light, very airy, very relaxing, comfortable and elegant fragrance at the same time. We have a very interesting composition. And what's curious about this composition is the fact that in the top notes we have some mint. I was a bit, let's say, not scared, but I wasn't a big fan of the fact that it had mint in the note breakdown. But fortunately, the mint note in this one, at least on my skin, lasts for about 5 to 10 seconds in the opening. Just after I apply it on my skin, and then it fades away, it simply disappears, and it's also a very faint mint note. The other ingredients that we have in the opening are of course grapefruit, cardamom and tarragon, and the main combination in this opening on my skin is the grapefruit with tarragon combination, mainly because the cardamom in this one, it's subtle, which also I do appreciate. I'm not a big fan of mint and I'm not a big fan of cardamom, so I'm very happy to have a zesty grapefruit combined with an aromatic tarragon inside Mr. Burberry, especially in the opening. It's very fresh, it's aromatic at the same time, and it gives you a, let's say, herbal, zesty type of feeling when you apply the fragrance on the skin, or at least on my skin. In the heart of this fragrance we get a very beautiful birch leaf note combined with nutmeg oil and cedar, and again in the heart the main accords are of course the birch and the cedar, so the fragrance turns around and becomes very woody, but as I said, it has a very airy type of feeling. It's not convoluted, it's not overpowering, just like any other woody fragrances out there. The nutmeg note, it's again very subtle, just like the cardamom note. So if you want, the spices in Mr. Burberry on my skin don't perform really great. And I highly appreciate these things, although I do like nutmeg compared to cardamom. In the base we have sandalwood, vetiver and guaiac wood, and here the guaiac wood is the main accord for me, backed up by the vetiver and the sandalwood. So a lot of woody notes, very beautiful scent. It opens fresh, bright, invigorating if you want, relaxing at the same time, and then it turns into a woody type of scent, very woody actually, but not your classical woody fragrance. It's very airy, it's very, I wouldn't know how to call it, it's very ozonic if you want, I would use this term, because it's simply beautiful. It does not attack your senses, it doesn't induce you headaches, for example. You don't have the same vetiver, if you want, like in La Liquen Crenor à l'Extrême, for example. You don't get the same cedar note that you can find in other fragrances. I don't know, for example, in D Squared, he would, if I'm not wrong, and so on. So the whole composition is very airy, it's very ozonic, which is really great. I've seen a lot of people complaining about the performance of this fragrance, especially on forums and whatnot, in the so-called community. I have no issues in terms of performance with Mr. Burberry. On my skin, this one usually stays 14 hours in terms of longevity. From the first moment I apply it until the last moment that I can sniff it from my skin. 14 hours. In terms of projection, well, it's not a monster projector. The overall projection, I would say it's quite moderate, but this isn't a bad thing about this fragrance, because the main feeling that this one tries to give you is of a subtle, elegant, fresh, woody type of fragrance. It's very comfortable. It's a more mature type of fragrance, if you want, for a more mature audience. So I don't have a problem with the longevity and with the performance. For the first 2 hours, it projects quite nice, quite strong. Not the strongest, but really good. Then I get about 5 to 6 hours of moderate projection on my skin, and about 1.5 hours, 2 hours of light projection on my skin, which I would say it's actually amazing. It's actually incredible. I don't know on other people's skins how it works, but on my skin, every single time I wore this fragrance, this is what I got. And I'm more than satisfied with what I got. It's a very versatile and very flexible fragrance at the same time, mainly because you can wear it whenever you want to wear it, and dressed up however you want to be dressed up. It's a casual fragrance at the same time. It's a good fragrance for office environments. It's a very good fragrance for formal events. It's a great fragrance for meeting with your friends, going out to drink a coffee, going to the movies and whatnot. It's a great fragrance, I don't know, to take a walk and whatever. So it's very flexible and very versatile in terms of how, when and where to wear it. Also, in terms of the group age, I would not see a problem for younger crowds, younger consumers, to try this one out and to actually wear it, because it's a very, very simple, very elegant, very nice smelling fragrance. Although I do consider that it's better suited for a more mature audience that appreciates the type of scent that Mr. Burberry actually is. In my honest opinion, a very good, very beautiful creation from the house of Burberry. Also a very good creation from one of the best perfumers in the world, Francis Kurkdjian. This pretty much does it for this video, guys. This is Mr. Burberry from the house of Burberry. I highly encourage you, as always, to give it a try, give it a sniff, test it out, see how it behaves on your skin, see what the performance is on your skin and how it smells. And as always, it's your money. If you like it, go ahead and simply purchase the bottle. I'm gonna see you in the next video. Until then, as always, my friends, be safe, be good. Peace.